Those of you who are here for the first time, we go fast. Today, we're going to go through just a little bit, 10, 15 minutes where we talk about rapport. I then put you into breakout rooms for about 7 or 8 minutes. We always do fast breakout sessions, just so you get chatting to people. And then we come back and I'll let you know some of the things that we've got to offer you. Okay, so here we go. Tonight, it's building bridges through conversation, the power of rapport in relationships. Now, what is rapport? Rapport is the ability to relate to others in a way that creates a climate of trust and understanding. Now, this is for me, this is the magic about rapport. You know you have rapport when someone volunteers additional information about themselves or situation that you have not asked for. I've had a 25-year career in sales. I worked for Xerox, I worked for Yellow Pages. I've been working with NLP for I keep saying over 30 years, it's over 35 years now that I've been working with NLP. And actually tonight's my 25th anniversary of meeting my husband. That's my anniversary. He's not here tonight, but we always celebrate the meeting rather than the marrying. So that's 25 years. So I'd already been working with NLP for over 10 years when I met him. When I was in sales, that was always the magical moment you had. And it's always the magical moment you have when you're a coach as well. When all of a sudden someone starts telling you stuff and you haven't asked any questions. You've just got them talking and then they start to say, and this happened and that happened and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you can just sit back. It's like pressing a download button. Once you have that rapport going, people just, what's actually happened is they have automatically trusted you. They've gone into a state of automatic unconscious trust, and that unconscious trust is opening things up. So people are quite happy to share things for you. So this is something that people don't really think about. They think, oh yeah, we do a little bit of mirroring, matching, and you do that rapport stuff, but it's huge, especially if you really want to get into the inside of world of someone, if you want to really help someone. We do this physically by mirroring, matching body movements and voice tone. I am not going to go into lots of mirroring and matching techniques. This is not really what we're doing here. When I train and do my NLP training, or when I do my enhancing communicating training for business professionals, I go into companies to do this. I don't consciously teach rapport. What I do is I wait, especially when we're in, it can happen if you're sitting for a day on camera, you'll see people doing this and that, and suddenly you'll find the whole room's doing this. You've got everyone absolutely matching. When you're in a room with someone, if you're in a training room, what I do, especially if I've got people doing exercises in pairs, I will wait until I see them all matching and then I'll just shout freeze and I'll get people to look at each other. So you've got people working pairs and you'll see two people both doing this. So they both lean the same way. The funniest one I had once was two people had their feet against the back of a chair. They both had their tiptoes on the ground and their heels on the back of the chair like that. Both of them, their feet were pointing down. They didn't know they were doing it. Or you can have hands touching, knees apart. So I just wait until I see the absolute pattern. And then I will point out when there's not a pattern. And what happens is the person, either the coach or the NLP practitioner or the trainer or whatever, if they're not physically in rapport with someone, it's their job to move themselves slightly into the same body position as that person. Excuse me. Now, rapport is not mimicking. It's not if someone, in fact, so I would like someone to talk to me. Jasmine, you can do this because you know me. You're okay about doing this. So what I want you to do is tell me something, and I want you to be moving your hands a little bit. So tell me about some of the things you use your NLP training for.
I use my NLP training all the time.
Yeah.
I use it at my job as an HR practitioner.
Yeah.
In my organization, I use it when I'm interacting with people. I use it when I'm trying to influence somebody as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a coach. So when I'm coaching someone,
okay, how does that fit? Yeah, thank you very much for that. That was me doing it wrong. Can you see how I was actually, and can you see how automatic it can become? You can actually get automatically moving with someone, but when you're doing that to someone, it's mimicking and it's horrible. Could you see, trained for that? Jasmine's spent lots of time with me. She knows what I'm like. But still to be able to talk like that, it was like, oh, I can't, you were holding back, okay? What you're doing is you're doing it very subtly. I was watching Jasmine more than actually listening to her. So Jasmine, if I'm talking about you, so I would say, so tell me more. I would do that maybe once because she was doing that quite a lot. But instead of matching that, I would just subtly go, okay, so tell me some more about that. And see how she's nodding her head. And then I would maybe do one head nod, but we're not actually matching. When we talk about mirroring and matching, someone asked me this the other day. Mirroring is just going into a body position as if with someone else, as if you're in a mirror. Okay? It's imagine yourself looking in the mirror. If my left hand's up, their right hand would be up. Does that make sense? If someone's sitting facing me. Matching is if someone's hands up with that and my opposite hand's up. With matching, if I go to one side, someone might be at the same angle, but there's the same angle to the other side. It doesn't matter. All you're looking for is the patterns of how people are together. And even have a look at this visual here. In the visual we're using, look at their feet. Look at the way they're both holding, one's holding a file, the other's holding a computer. They're holding it in the same way. Their other hand is in the same place, and see how their shoulders, can you see there's a pattern there? And that's what you're looking for when you're looking for rapport, okay? The purpose of rapport is to establish a feeling of commonality between people. People like people that are like them. That is completely different to somebody likes me. When I do I was out in the Middle East for many years. Now, I first went to the Middle East. I went to run a bar in Abu Dhabi in 1982. And then from there, I went to work with Xerox. So I was out in Abu Dhabi and Dubai long before Abu Dhabi and Dubai were the places, the big metropolitan places they are now. And what I can do, I can walk into training in the Emirates, working with Emiratis, and all I have to say is, I was here working with Xerox. I don't tend to say I was working in a bar. I was working with Xerox in 1982, probably with your grandparents, the same time as your grandparents. And straight away, they're starting to ask me questions about what that was like at that point of time. So I've created this rapport. When I work with people from India, from Pakistan, from the West Indies, not so much England, but because it can be England because I'm Scottish, it's a different one. I'll start talking about when I lived in Mumbai. I went to Wankhede Stadium and I watched Tendulkar go for his 100th, and he was bowled out for. And you can see Jasmine, yeah, she knows I'm talking about Sachin Tendulkar. Also, Theo, South Africa, another place for cricket. I'm talking about cricket. You just bring in something that people might not expect, so that people, you're part of a tribe. And when we feel part of a tribe, there's something that just people connect with. But what we're doing here is, for example, using non-verbal communication, body language, voice tone to get the individual to feel more relaxed in conversations or meetings, essentially is an unconscious communication. When you're putting that friendly voice, hello, how are you? And a smile. So if you smile, we're actually unconsciously programmed to smile back. Do you know that? Watch babies. Give a baby a smile and the baby will just start. So giving a smile, and if someone smiles back, and a warmth in a voice, it's as subtle as that, a warm tone in a voice, that's enough to really build that connection and build that rapport. There's 4 elements of rapport. Similarity. This can be culture, age, gender, parent, career. And one of the things that we use for similarity, if anyone's worked in an expat place like Dubai, the similarity is that you've got, what is it, 85 to 90% of the population is not native to that country. So all you can say is, so where'd you come from? You can't say that in the UK because that can be considered quite a rude question to say. But in the Emirates, where did you come from? How long have you been here for? Because so many, so even if you're stuck, so if you're a parent, you would just talk about your kids. If you're the weather, if you get stuck, you can talk about the weather. But you're looking to get, what you're wanting to do for that first one is similarity. So it can be similar. Similarity, could you both get soaked on the way to a meeting? If you're in Scotland, that can be a good one. Authenticity, genuine interest in others, a real compliment, and showing vulnerability. So being able to say to someone, that colour's lovely on you. But it has to be genuine, because who's ever had someone give them a compliment and you go, oh, you're just a smooth talker and you do that with everyone? It's horrible. But we have got the BS, I'll just say it, the bullshit monitor. And we know when someone is messing around with us. So it's got to be genuine. And then shared experience, sports, holiday, family, job, project. Talking about something you've shared. And one thing we've all shared throughout the whole of the world is COVID. I don't mention COVID a lot, but sometimes that can be, we still use it. We use it a lot in leadership development training now. Think of how you all pulled together during COVID. Think of all the things you had, because we're great at forgetting. Human beings are brilliant at forgetting things. Okay. So it's actually saying to yourself, okay, so what have we got? Looking for anything that you have in common. And then the last one is empathy, taking the time to understand the world of others. There's something really nice about someone who's really interested. Okay, so tell me more about yourself. And again, as human beings, we tend to like talking about ourselves because it's a subject we know well. And it's a subject, even if someone's really shy, you can ask them about their interests or what got them here or what gets someone really talking, and that's building rapport. So it's all very well to talk about building rapport, but sorry, we'll just give you this one before we go to the next one. Non-verbal communication has been reported to account for 70 to 80% of communication. Now, you may have been taught the Merhabian model. The Merhabian model is quoted as stating that the spoken word is a mere 7%, while tone is 38% and body language 55%, meaning non-verbal part of our communication 73%. That is now slightly outdated. That model has been brought into corporates, yet the actual model was done with 36 midwives. So it was done with midwives, and now neuroscience has said there's no way we can break down what's non-verbal and body posture, but we do know that 20 to 30, sometimes only 5% of conversation is what we actually see. And again, when I was out in the Middle East, I do presentation skills training, and we do feedback on presentations. And there was one gentleman come on the training, and he was doing his training in Arabic, and he said, "I don't speak Arabic. I understand quite a lot of Arabic, but I'm not conversational." And he said, "How can you, we got it translated. How can you assess me if you don't know what I'm saying?" I said, "I can hear your tone of voice, and I can see your body posture, and I'm watching your slides. So I'm actually following a lot of what you're doing." So it's amazing how much we're actually able to pick up that we don't think about. So that if you want to get, neuroscience now is saying 70 to 80% of communication is non-verbal, which just means a mixture of body posture and voice tone. But what I want to talk to you about this evening is breaking rapport. Breaking rapport essentially involves disrupting or diminishing the level of connection, understanding, or harmony between individuals. Now, although this can be done purposefully, many people are not consciously aware of some of the things they're doing that may be breaking rapport with others. When you train in NLP skills and you train in the advanced, and for those of you who, I know that most of you are NLP trained, but NLP is the methodology of how we create behavior. It's like the software manual for the brain. The behavior is there. And when you learn NLP skills, you learn how to break down that behavior. You learn how to you've got labels for the different parts, the different components about the behavior. So you get to understand how someone is doing something. You understand the strategies of how someone is able to do something. And that covers advanced communication skills. Now, we can learn, we know how to break rapport consciously and purposely. And you would break rapport, and I teach leaders to break rapport when, especially new leaders, where they want to have rapport with everyone so they don't get time to get on with things. And they feel rude about doing things. So we'll give them a couple of techniques to be able to break rapport. You probably know how to break rapport with someone that's boring you. A meeting somewhere, a networking meeting, someone's really boring. Oh, I've just got to, yeah, you just cut them off, okay? But what I wanted to bring out tonight is how many of these things are you doing unconsciously? So you're actually creating this rapport break in someone, but you haven't noticed it. So the first one is non-verbal cues, and you can take slides, you can take photographs of this. I've not showed these slides before. Non-verbal cues: avoid eye contact, crossing your arms, turning away, or displaying closed body language can signal disinterest or disagreement, thereby breaking rapport. So just, you could be cold, but someone's talking and you're doing that. It's giving huge non-verbal signals about, I'm not the least bit interested. Then this is really interesting for leaders and also for coaches. Incongruent verbal and non-verbal communication: deliberately expressing one sentiment verbally while conveying the opposite non-verbally can create confusion and disrupt rapport. Yes, I think you're really going to be good for this job. Yeah, I really think you should go for that promotion. The number of times I see that in training courses, it's unbelievable. And straight away, when the brain gets incongruent signals, if it gets opposite of what we mean by incongruent, it's not in harmony. So if they're getting signals that one thing's being said, but the whole body is doing something completely differently, then that's really, it's confusing. And also it absolutely drops trust. Then disagreeing openly. Expressing disagreement or contradicting someone's viewpoint directly can disrupt rapport, especially if done abruptly or without considering the other person's perspective. Oh, no, you're not right. That's a load of rubbish. Or just breaking in. And remember, you can, sometimes leaders can do that in front of their team without even thinking about the impact of how that's making someone look. And in a situation that you're not just breaking rapport with the person you're disagreeing with, you're breaking rapport with everyone that's seeing you. Because everyone that's seeing you is saying, hang on a minute, these are the type of things that have to be done. Because remember, I work with NLP specifically for business and coaching. Okay. And then using negative language, employing negative language, criticism or sarcasm can create tension and undermine rapport. The brain doesn't know when you're kidding. Be really careful with sarcasm. And you hear it in teenagers, only kidding. I think you look horrible today, only kidding. No, it's not only kidding. That's normally the truth that's coming out. Sarcasm that just cuts people off. Because when you're working in coaching, when you're working in leadership, you're looking to build rapport. So it's just being careful of the things, because we all live in the center of our own world. And one of the other classes that I do in this series is all about emotional intelligence and self-awareness. The number of people that really are not self-aware is still shocking to me. I live in the world of NLP, but I know we're very privileged to live in this world where we understand we all create our own reality. And I was listening today on the radio to a scientific, it was to do with neuroscience, excuse me, Radio 4. And even the scientists were saying it's really, we're just starting, and I had to laugh, we're just starting to understand now how different we all see the world. Duh, we've known this for years in NLP, but neuroscience is catching up with this brilliantly. And then ignoring social norms, behaving in ways that disregard social norms or expectations, such as interrupting, speaking out of turn, invading personal space, can disrupt rapport. Going too close to someone or just cutting them off or interrupting. And It's okay if you do some of these things once. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, because people get enthusiastic. I do it. I still do it. I jump. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there. No, you go first. And that's okay. But it's people who keep doing things like this, they're not aware of it. I just wanted to give you a different perspective and report tonight. Changing tone or speed pattern, altering the tone of your voice or speech pattern suddenly can signal a shift in mood or attitude, potentially disrupting rapport. You know that, I suppose, so huge. All of a sudden, you've just cut someone off by changing the way you're actually speaking to them. And then withholding information. Intentionally withholding relevant information or refusing to engage in meaningful communication can create a barrier and break rapport. And this is so important in business. And especially when you're coaching someone, if your client's withholding information, if your client's not open and honest with you, there's only so much you can do. And I very often, if someone does that, it's only happened to me about once or twice. And actually, when it was challenged, they've opened up, which has been great. And then being inattentive or distracted, demonstrated disinterest by being inattentive, distracted, or preoccupied during interactions can undermine rapport. This one. Yeah, no, come on, tell me. Yeah, no, come on, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening. Meanwhile, scrolling away like mad. It just connects. I like to think of rapport as an energy. I like to feel it's an energy field we're creating with someone else. And all these things we're talking about, breaking rapport, is like taking a knife and cutting that energy field and just disconnecting from the energy field or pulling out the plug. And then expressing disapproval, conveying disapproval, the rolling eyes. Through facial expressions, gestures, or verbal cues can signal lack of agreement or connection, breaking rapport. So it can be a... Now, you've got to be careful, because some cultures, I remember going to Greece the very first time I was in Greece in the early 70s, and I kept going and asking for things. No, I dealt with... And I thought, what's wrong with everyone here? And it turned out that's the way they say no. Oh, they don't even say that. It's changed now. In Greece, they'll go, okay, they'll actually say, but then it was, and that was it. So again, cultural scenarios, you've got to understand cultural scenarios, different ways of doing things. And then using inappropriate humor. Leave the humor to the professional comedians. Using humor that's offensive, insensitive, or inappropriate for the context can disrupt and rapport and cause discomfort. I always say in any trainings that I do, we bring a lot of fun, a lot of humor and laughter into what we do, but I don't tell jokes. We find the humor in what we're doing. There's enough humor out there. There's enough fun that you can harness what's happening to really get fun with people, but don't try telling jokes. Leave that to people, to the professionals, where people are paying to go and be entertained. You're not entertained because you just never know. You'll always offend someone when you're doing something like that. So to purposely build rapport, do what you would normally do unconsciously and become conscious of how we're doing it. You can read that again. So what you do is just do what you're doing, but start to be more conscious about what you're doing. Because I find it becomes, if you try and give people rules to do, it becomes too complicated. Just start to become more aware. Be aware of it, get some feedback, start reading the room, using your calibrating skills. The quickest way to build rapport is to watch a person's body language and elegantly match or mirror it, then lead. And what we mean by match or mirroring, lead. So if someone's talking and you're getting into that thing, then you can maybe pull back and you'll find that person will lean forward or they'll pull back. If someone starts following your gestures, you know you're then in the leading position. And that's when you can bring in your ideas, because people are very receptive to that. Matching and mirroring is replicating or reflecting aspects of the individual's behaviour back to them. Posture, gestures, facial expressions, blinking, breathing, matching someone's breathing, tonality, voice tone, tempo, the volume, or words, matching visual, auditory, and feeling words. We call them kinesthetic words. Repeating keywords, common experiences and associations, and repeating the last part of the sentence. So before we go into the breakout rooms, I love this quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So how do you make people feel? And that is the secret of building rapport, being able to make people feel good for no reason whatsoever. Because when people feel good, they connect you as the person. If you're making people feel good, these people will connect. You're the person that's helping them feel good. Rooms are all open. Just go at 32. We'll come out. We'll do 39. We'll do 7 minutes. So it's 7 minutes from when you go in. Just introduce yourself, get to chat to each other. Welcome back. I love it when all the nice faces, and you all wait till the last minute to come back. Okay, so let's get just sharing from 1 or 2 rooms. Let's get 1 or 2 people. So what did you get in your room? What were you discussing in your room? Who wants to go first? Okay.
Go on.
Who's good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I was with Viara, Lawrence, and Miriam was on fire, really. She came with some being conscious of your unconscious behavior and how difficult it is sometimes to get there in terms of that. And then we start to talk about you breaking rapport and how they feel sometimes that they don't want to build rapport with this person.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is. So it was a really interesting conversation.
And that's interesting when you say sometimes you don't want to build rapport with someone.
Yeah.
Business leaders have to. Business leaders have to build rapport with people they don't like or don't want to build it. And that's part of leadership development, is to be able to build rapport with anyone. So it's interesting because if you've decided, no, I don't want to build rapport with them, that means you're causing a block somewhere in the organization. So it's rapport, the word rapport gets thrown about a lot, but it's quite interesting. But that's, thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
So who else? Let's get one more.
Well, we built rapport in our room with Sean and just getting to know him and being jealous of his being in Guatemala where it's nice and sunny and beautiful. Cold and rainy here.
There you go. And rapport can be built like that.
Yeah.
And think about it, every single person that's on an event like this, you've all got something in common. You've all got an interest in developing your NLP skills. Whether you've got NLP skills or whether you're going to get NLP skills, it doesn't matter. Okie dokie, thank you very much. So let me just, what I'm going to put in the link in the chat, we've got an offer. Those of you who are NLP trained or have attended an NLP training and would like to join our NLP Business Circle Club, we meet twice a month for 2 live masterclasses. So it's similar structure to here, but it's for 2 hours. It's the second Tuesday of the month, 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock UK time. And then the 4th Thursday from 1900 to 2100 UK time. Live practice sessions and coaching. Members get access to all the videos, audios, workbook archives since 2020. It's December 2020. We've also now got the VIP NLP Business Circle Club community. It's a live online community. It's like a mini Facebook within the platform. We're just getting started with it. I've got the Joe certificate coming up tomorrow, so I haven't had the time to really focus on that yet, but we know within the next couple of months that's going to really get moving. Members get 30% discount on all my courses and coaching. So we'll really be pushing that membership discount to everyone. I'll make sure that everyone's got hold of that. So it's normally £97 a month. Save 30% every month. So if you want to take a photograph of that coupon code, NLP3024, and if you go into the link that's in the chat and just put that coupon code in the checkout box and press apply, that will give you a 30% discount every single month for that. We've gone over time by 1 minute, which is okay. I'm here. If anyone wants to chat, feel free. I'll be here for the next 10, 15 minutes. If not, next week is aligning your values, the key to success. That's the same place, same time. Let people know about this event and just give yourself a big round of applause. thank you very much for being here. And I hope that I'm able to give you just a little different perspective each time you come on here. Okay, so take care, and I'll put the recording off, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, wherever you are, or night. I know that Lawrence is coming in. Lawrence is from India. He comes in the middle of the night quietly. So we'll see you next week, and just have a lovely week. And those of you that are coming on to the NLP dual certification tomorrow, I'm looking forward to getting started again. Yeah, another program starting. Okay, so we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.